Hello everybody, and let's start with network scanning in practice. Now, the first thing we should do is check out our own IP address in our local network. So we all know by now how to do that. In Linux, you simply just type ipconfig and it will prompt you with your networking interfaces as well as the IP address for the network interface that is connected to the internet. As we can see, the ETHO, which is the Ethernet cable connected internet, has the IP address of 192.168.1.9. Now in Windows, if you want to simply just check out your IP address, you simply just type ipconfig, and my Windows machine has the IP address of 192.168.1.6. Okay, so make sure once again that you are connected over the bridged adapter in network settings, and you can simply just do that by going to the machine, then settings, and then under the settings you go to the network settings, which is right here, and make sure that here it is set to bridged adapter. Click here OK, and you're good to go. Now what we're going to do in this short video is we're going to cover two tools that already come inbuilt in both Windows and Linux, which is the Ping tool and Traceroute tool. Now the first tool, which is the Ping tool, allows us to actually see whether a certain host is up and running or not. By pinging a host, if we get the ICMP packets back or we get the response from that host, it means that the host is up and running. And if we don't get the packets back, it means that the host is offline or its firewall is blocking our ping requests. So those are two possible options. And therefore, we're going to see how we can bypass that in the Nmap section once we actually scan with Nmap. But for now on, let us see how we can ping a simple host. So let me clear the screen. And if you simply just type ping and then the IP address of the host you want to ping, and let's say 192.168.1.6, which is the IP address of my Windows 10 machine, it will say ping and then the IP address, 56 or 84 bytes of data. And then we wait a few seconds, and if we actually receive the packets, that means that the host is up. So in this case, we should be able to receive the packets because my Windows 10 machine is also connected over the internet as well as the Kali Linux machine. If we try to actually ping from the Windows 10 to the Kali Linux machine, we can type ping 192.168.1.9. We can see that we're actually able to ping from the Windows 10 machine to the actual Kali Linux machine. Right now we can actually ping the IP address, which is the IP address of my router, 192.168.1.1. Since my router is up and running, we are receiving the packets, and you will notice that in Linux, once you actually ping, the ping requests are actually going to go forever. While as in Windows, if you simply just type ping 192.168.1.1, it will ping it 4 times and then it will stop pinging it. Okay? So those are the differences between these two commands in Linux and Windows. But if you want to, for example, ping this 4 times as well, you can simply just type ping 192.168.1.1 and then -C and then 4. If you simply just type that, it will only ping it 4 times and it will stop pinging it. This -C basically stands for count, and it will count 4 requests. Okay? So this is the way that you can actually find out whether a host is up and running. And let me just show you an example once the host is not up and running. So let's say .1.100. This IP address is nowhere to be found on my local network, and it will say destination host unreachable, as we can see right here. So that host is not up and running. So let me clear the screen right here. And let's go to the second tool, which is the Traceroute. Now we can use Traceroute tool to trace the connection to our desired host and to see through how many DNS servers your request passes through in order to reach the host. So let's say we want to traceroute, and you can simply just type traceroute in your terminal and specify the actual domain that you want to search. So let's say udemy.com. We want to trace our connection to the udemy.com, and we want to see through which IP addresses does it pass through on its way to reach Udemy. So right here, this might take a few seconds, and while it does that, I can show you the same command in the Windows. So it is trace or troute or traceroute, I believe it is something like this, and then udemy.com. Let me just see. Yeah, it is traceroute in Windows 10, and it is traceroute in Linux. As we can see right here, we are tracing the same actual website. As we can see, let us see if it is passing through the same gateway. It is, so gateway 192.168.1.1. It passed through it as well right here. Then it went to this IP, which is this one. Then 139, which is this one, and here it is right here. So the next two should be these two, and then it will reach the Udemy, which is this IP address right here. Okay, so let's see whether it will complete it the same way. Now, sometimes it might actually go through different IP addresses, but I don't think that will be the case this time. It should be exactly the same as right here. Just for some reason, it is going really slow right here, so it doesn't really matter. We will not wait for it to finish. What we can see right here is under each step through which IP address did the connection go through. Of course, the first step was our gateway, which is our router, so we forwarded the packet to our router, and then the router forwarded the packet to the closest DNS server, which then forwarded the connection furthermore, until we actually reach the desired location, which is the udemy.com. Okay, so basically I just want to show you these two tools that come already in Linux and Windows. They are pretty normal and everybody knows about them, but they can be used to actually scan or perform some type of scan onto the network. What we're going to do in the next video is we're going to cover two different tools, which are BetterCap and NetDiscover, and then after those two tools, or after the next video, we're going to go into advanced scanning with Nmap. So we're going to cover Nmap in a few videos. So hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye.